Shameless. United in the Europa League. Europa League. We tell them one time and we say Europa League. Europa.
Never gets old. Manchester United 4, Real Betis 1. You would think 1 foot into the next round. United bounce back. Reaction from the weekend's defeat against Liverpool. KG, how are you feeling about the game? Not about your luggage situation. The game. Let's focus on the game.
Luggage. All right, not about the luggage situation. The game was interesting. The game was interesting. First half, you think about, is the malaise still there? And I did think there was the worry after we got the first goal. Rashford. What a goal. What a finish. He rifled that into the net as if, he hated, as if that ball was, if that ball was a representation of Liverpool, you could tell that he let out his frustrations and it just straight in, rifles in, what a goal, celebration. It's all about concentration, right? And then it just gets Man United-y, yeah? And then it's like, we just create our own mistakes for no reason. Like, we make the game harder than it needs to be. And that was the little bit for me that I was like, I love you lot, but this part of our game, it has to stop. This part where, and then you get in the little frustrations. You get the De Gea one. De Gea does this wild kick out, and that should have been, because it goes to 1-1, and they still, Real Betis always looked a bit dangerous, right? And then from nowhere, you have this moment where was the De Gea special. And I don't know what you were thinking at that time, but my mind immediately went to Marcel, and I thought,
well, look, with that, it was a strange one, because you're right, started really, really well, and then you thought we reacted really well here, we're confident. And then the goal that they scored, for me, it's handball. I think it's handball because he moves his arm like this. But you're right. Then De Gea does that pass, and he did it at the start of the second half where he clearly put Martinez in a really difficult position. And luckily Martinez is so good that he gets out of it. And you can see it, can't you? You understand where it's coming from, but at the same time, it's like too far. You know what I mean?
And that's my thing. Cool. When something's a conversation, when it's a piece that we've been discussing for a long time. So you see this moment take place, and you're like, oh. And then, but then after, like, I can't stay on that, right? Because the game didn't stay in that way. Man United, I think it gets to halftime, and Erik ten Hag does what Erik ten Hag has been doing since he's arrived, and he just talks to him. He talks to him and says, "Listen, cut it out." And it was again, because it wasn't just a De Gea moment. Casemiro had his little Casemiros, across the team, and it was hard to tell who the standout player was. Second half, they make the change for Wan-Bissaka for Dalot. And I'm telling you now, Wan-Bissaka, while we're not getting anything going forward effectively from Dalot, because Dalot's main strength is he's the better forward. He's the better on the ball going forward. And we haven't been getting the most from him, especially when Anthony refuses to go around the outside. Like, point blank refuses. He's not venturing that way. He doesn't. He's going to cut in. That's all he wants to do, right? So Wan-Bissaka comes on, and you just feel a bit more steady. I don't know if you felt that at home, but I was feeling a bit more, okay, if anything happens, Wamby's there to just see it out if it's coming down the right-hand side. And that gives me a lot of confidence. And also, Wamby's got this new part to his game where he's winning the ball higher up the pitch. He's doing that it's like, I don't know if it's a slide tackle type pass where he's helping start attacks, which I find good. Anthony scores it's a trademark Anthony goal. Yep. The trademark. Now,
it kind of diminishes it, doesn't it? Because it's a great goal, but you go, that's what he does. That's the Anthony goal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's Anthony. But I like that. I wouldn't want to take. It is funny because it's a really good. It's the kind of goal you score on FIFA, and you just say, I'm going to go home now.
Yeah. It's right trigger finesse.
Yeah.
You go, brilliant, easy.
I'm going to leave. I'm going home now, guys. But then he does it so well. Like, and I think it's hard for keepers to deal with. And when it's on target, it's always gonna force something from the keeper, right? And he's been doing that ever since he was at Ajax. So good goal from him. Really happy with that. And then Bruno gets a solid header. And all these
talk
guys,
about reactions. Yeah, talk about reactions, because not only was it the goal, but it was the performance tonight. You know, through as a 10, mostly in the game. Talk about a guy that reacted from the weekend, Bruno Fernandes.
Absolutely. And he kept on, you know, shuffling, playing with the armband, which I found really funny. He kept on pulling it up. I can imagine. Yeah, he kept on playing with the armband, which I found funny. I found it quite amusing, but it's a bullet of a header. And again, he needed to I think he needed to send some type of message. Now, was that a strong message considering this is not a Premier League game? Probably not. It's not the same as the Liverpool one, but they needed to say that Man United are not on the downward trajectory. Man United are not in that capitulation sentence. 4-1 is a good result again in the situation that we're in now. And what I've really liked is the arrival of Facundo Pellistri. Facundo.
I knew you were going there, because Weghorst gets his goal, and look, it clearly meant, and you've had your issues with Val, you know, not like it's personal. You've had your issues with Val, and his celebration is great, because he's really, you can see it, it's pouring out of him, like the snow falling in Manchester. It's pouring out of him. He's like, oh, come on. Yes, but you're right. Facundo comes on the pitch, and the goal happens because of him, and it's not the first time that's happened this season.
You know, it's just, you start to ask questions like, well, why hasn't he got more involvement, considering you talk about the directness? I'm not going to say he's as direct as Garnacho, but he's showing those kind of traits. He gets on the ball, like in the last eight or something minutes, it's Facundo running down the wing, making the most of it on the right-hand side. Now, I thought we already had the answer to the right-hand side in Anthony, but then this guy just put his name in the hand. He goes, is he the answer? Now, you know, because we haven't answered that question. I think this question has been answered, but Facundo is asking good questions, and I like these questions because I feel that he should be in and around it. He should be closer to it, as close as, you know, when Garnacho comes on 60, 70th minute. We should now see the arrival of Facundo on the right hand side. Personally, for me, I think he deserves it, especially with the season coming to an end and him deciding where he's going to play his football going forward. I think we need to bring him in.
So are you saying then, if we're looking at the forward options, you've got Rashford's on the left, and then Garnacho's the sub for that one. On the right, it's Anthony, but Pellistri's then the sub. And then when it comes to the 10, you've got Bruno, but maybe Sancho's the sub.
And then Sancho can play across the front three, though, which gives him a bit more. There's more versatility to his game, but we don't even know what Facundo could look like on the left-hand side as well. So the main thing is, I feel that he needs to be part of the squad more than he has been. That's all I'm getting, because each time we've seen a cameo performance, and yes, it's 7-8 minutes here and there, but they're really good 7-8 minutes. You know, just on the team though, I was really happy with the result today. I think it needed to. A lot of people don't watch Man United play. A lot of pundits don't watch Man United play, and they just look at the scoreline and they decide how Man United are right now. Now, for the pundits that are not going to watch us, they'll look at it and say, oh, 4-1. Oh, maybe the thingy was a blip, because there was a huge overreaction from the media in terms of, Man United even good, this, that, and the other? Should Bruno be stripped as captain? Well, you can see why all these players, like, that was unnecessary. That whole conversation, it was an incredibly bad day at the office. And you see the luck today. Look at that moment with David De Gea, right? Where the ball literally bounces off the inside. And I said, on Sunday, that's a goal. Like, you know, like sometimes you do need luck on your side, and you do need the rub of the green. And I think today was a professional performance.
Professional performance indeed. Does that give you food for thought, positivity heading in for Sunday? Then the next step is, we've reacted in the most immediate game, which was tonight, but the next step is to react in the league and make sure that, again, it doesn't affect that side of things either.
Well, I've never given up on the squad. I've never given up on the boys in terms of, like, I understood what the day was all about, right, for them, but I knew that they had that in them. It's like it's that game at home as well. We're playing Southampton at home.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's become a fortress. They're talking about us scoring 35 goals at home. Like Man United, we've looked good at home since the turn of the World Cup. Well, just even maybe before that. So I think I've never really truly been worried about what is that 9-0 I didn't get that. I never got that and thought, oh my goodness, here comes the decline. I'm still hoping. I'm still waiting for the Arsenal slip-ups. Whatever happens, I want us to just be right there asking questions until the end of the season. You know, so, but if you wanted me to choose like a man in the match, I found it quite difficult today. I didn't feel like there was a standout performer. You know what's mad? I don't think no one looked. Did anyone look really incredible to you, by the way, John?
I think you'd probably say Bruno Fernandes. I think he made most chances on the pitch. I think, considering the scrutiny, don't think it's any coincidence that he plays through the middle and then suddenly he starts playing better.
Yeah.
Talk about a guy that's been shifted around. You probably would say him. Rashford, you know, starts it. He was up for it. But you're right. It was more about the collective, I suppose.
It felt more collective today. It'll be. I will struggle to pick a man in a match, and I think I was thinking about my suitcase and my soundboard. I've got no sounds. Like, it's all gone. So maybe that's it. But yeah, I'm gonna just do the cop out one. I say Rashford gets us the first goal. It means a lot. Wild celebration made me laugh as much as it just made me feel raw. He really felt bad about touching the sign. The way he celebrated, I was like, bloody hell. But then I'm happy for him. So yeah, it is what it is.
Is what it is after Manchester United acted like KG's luggage at Anfield on Sunday and went missing. They react this evening and seemingly have one foot into the next round. Been thinking about that the whole way through. We're out of here. Peace.